I start looking for a water faucet or a glass, etc. As soon as I have that thought, simultaneously another part of my brain called the hypothalamus, it also makes angiotensin II, which causes the hypothalamus to secrete a hormone called ADH, which makes the body hold on to water. My kidneys make angiotensin II at the same time, so that my kidneys start holding on to water. My heart cells make it, my skin cells make it. So as soon as I have the notion I'm thirsty, that's a molecular equivalent simultaneously everywhere in my body all at the same time. And if that isn't astonishing enough, I could go and measure angiotensin in you when I am thirsty, and you'll find that there's a flicker, a little bump. It goes up in you too. So we are sharing our ideas all the time, and these ideas are not confined to any one place. They're everywhere all at the same time, simultaneously. This morning, Dr. Curtis used the expression omniscience, omnipresence, omnipotence. Well, that's how the mind is. It's simultaneously aware of everything all at the same time, and it can correlate these activities. Of course, scientists are afraid of using these terms, so they won't say omniscience. They'll say organizing power contained in a field, or correlation, ability to infinitely correlate things. But in fact, what scientists describe as infinite organizing power of a field or infinite correlation in a field are expressions of what Dr. Curtis this morning was calling omniscience, omnipotence, and omnipresence. A human body displays all those abilities all the time. A human body, for example, is literally a field of infinite correlation. Human body is really a field of infinite correlation. It can kill germs, it can play a piano, it can eliminate toxins, make a new baby, and monitor the movements of the stars all at the same time, and correlate them with each other all at the same time. It's true not only of the human body, it's true of all living species. Flowers will change their color if the earth gets warm, and then they'll reflect more sunlight because they'll want the earth to cool down. They sense the discomfort of the earth. They feel the compassion for the earth. It's a field phenomenon of information. Flowers will change their color if the earth cools down too much so that they can absorb more sunlight to warm the earth. So these feedback loops of information are not confined either to the human body or to the body of a flower. They are pervasive everywhere in the whole universe, in all the galaxies. And this is the basis, literally, of Ayurveda, Sanskrit expression, yatha pinde tatha brahmande, which says, as is the atom, so is the universe. As is the human body, so is the cosmic body. As is the human mind, so is the cosmic mind. As is the microcosm, so is the macrocosm. And sometimes scientific audiences, when you use the word cosmic mind, they get very scared because you're introducing spirituality into science. So we don't use the word cosmic mind. We say it's a non-local information with cybernetic feedback loops of a self-referral nature. It's all right. Then it's fine. So I think the conclusion of this part should be that we are not physical machines that have learned how to think. It's the other way around. We are quantum events in the unified field, fluctuations of information or thoughts that have learned how to create the physical machine. And in fact, our experience of our body is, if we experience it as material this moment, it is because we have chosen to make that interpretation. But in fact, what we have interpreted can be reinterpreted. The fact is, we are making a new body even more effortlessly than we can change our clothes. What we call the body is really a field of patterns that we can control. It's part of a universe where there is no wear and tear, only rhythmic cycles of rest and activity.
No doubt by now you understand why I encourage you to listen to and learn from my friend Dr. Deepak Chopra. He communicates through the use of interesting examples, studies, and case histories. You'll probably want to listen to this tape many times and share it with your friends. Now, let's go on to tape 2, where Dr. Chopra talks about creativity and ways of extending your longevity.
What we call linear time is a purely psychological event. Ask a physicist, does time exist? And if he's up on his physics, then since 1913, he should have discarded the idea that such a thing as time exists. Sir Thomas Gold, who's also an eminent physicist today, he says, no experiment has ever shown the physical existence of time. Where have you seen it? Where does it exist? Has anyone touched time? Has anyone tasted it? Has anyone smelt it? Where is it? Show me where it is. What is time? Time is an interpretation that we make to ourselves to measure our experience of change. That's what it is. Time is a notion, a concept that we make to ourselves to explain to ourselves our experience of change. An experience of change is a sensory experience. And we said earlier, sensory experience is not the test of reality. I'll give you an example. The other day I took a flight from Boston to London, and I met this old friend of mine, and we were having such a good time that time flew. They told us that the flight was 6 hours, but to us it seemed like we were there in, as the expression is, in a jiffy. We forgot to eat, we forgot to go to sleep, we forgot to go to the bathroom. We had such a good time, and when we got there, we didn't even have jet lag. So what happened? As a result of that different interpretation of sensory experience, even our biological cycles, such as rest, activity, elimination, appetite, food, digestion, sleep, and biological rhythms that control things like the experience of jet lag, they were all experienced differently as a result of my notion, time flew. I'm sure you know those people. They have 10 deadlines to meet. They look at the same watch that you and I look at, the same clock, but for them it's moving much faster. They keep looking at it. It's a reflection of their internal clock, which is a reflection of their interpretation of time. So they say, I'm running out of time. They constantly say it. I have this deadline to meet. Now, you study such a person's biological responses, and you find their heart rate is faster, their blood pressure is higher, their platelets are jittery, they have higher levels of adrenaline, noradrenaline, glucagon, insulin, they have more arrhythmias per minute, their immune system is in the fast lane, and then if they suddenly drop dead of a premature coronary, which they frequently do, then time has run out. They have translated that internal dialogue of time running out into that physical experience, time runs out. Or if you know somebody who gives the impression he has all the time in the world, find that their responses, their physiologies are completely different also, as a result of their internal interpretation of time. Or perhaps you've heard the expression, in fact I heard it this morning when Dorothy was speaking, was giving her sermon. She used the expression, she said, the beauty of the lake was breathtaking. Okay, I want to extend that by just one little phrase. The beauty of the lake was breathtaking and time stood still. Because what is time? Time is the movement of thought. And what is breath? Breath is also the movement of thought. And what's the physical body that comes out of that? That's also the movement of thought. And when you say the beauty of the mountain or the lake was breathtaking and time stood still, then you have transcended thought and dived into eternity. That eternity is that second which is always there, where the observer, the observed, and the process of observation get resolved into the experience of unity consciousness. So normally I think I and that tree are different. I see it as separate from myself. In fact, that's how I perceive it also. That perception, the mechanics of that perception is the movement of consciousness, which creates through me and my physical body the perception of the tree.